Justice K S Hegde, the former Lok Sabha Speaker and renowned Supreme Court Judge. A noteworthy lifespan, from a very humble beginning to the most prestigious and honorable stature, from an educated, respected family of village heads, to an unprecedented professional and purposeful life, with a lifelong commitment to uplift the poor and needy. A worthy son of the soil, yes, that is Justice K S Hegde. Professional career of Justice K S Hegde is complex and unique. Justice K S Hegde was chosen to occupy the chair of the Speaker of Lok Sabha in 1977 in his very first term as a member of the Lok Sabha. Justice Hegde was a Supreme Court judge till 1973. He was a member of the Rajya Sabha in 1952. His eminent judicial background, coupled with legislative experience, enabled him to ensure smooth conduct of the proceedings of the Parliament in a manner that won him appreciations from all sections of the House. True to his conviction, he preserved and sustained the authority of the chair all through his tenure. He began his legal profession in 1933 and worked as government pleader and public prosecutor during the period 1947 to 1951. K S Hegde was elected to the Rajya Sabha in 1952. He served the upper house till 1957 and made outstanding contribution to its deliberations. He was a member of the panel of chairmen and also a member of the Public Accounts Committee and of the Rules Committee. In 1954, Hegde was chosen as an alternate delegate to the 9th session of the United Nations General Assembly and served on its second committee with distinction. He was also a member of the Railway Corruption Inquiry Committee and of the governing body of the Indian Council for Agricultural Research. In 1957, Hegde resigned from the Rajya Sabha when he was appointed a judge of the Mysore High Court. As a judge, he earned widespread respect and approbation for his judicial pronouncements. He served on the bench of the Mysore High Court till 1966, when he was appointed as the first Chief Justice of the Delhi and Himachal Pradesh High Court. Justice Hegde had already distinguished himself as a judge and as the Chief Justice of the High Court. He delivered many judgments which was really path-breaking. In 1967, he was appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court, in which capacity he delivered many judgments of far-reaching significance. Kowdoor Sadananda Hegde was born on 16th June 1909 at Kowdoor village of Karkala Taluk in South Kannada district of the Karnataka state. He was the youngest of the 6 children of Sri Kowdoor Nayarbettu Subbaya Hegde and Srimati Irmadi Lingamma Shetty. Subbaya Hegde's advices were sought by the local people of all religions and communities in all spheres of their socio-economic life, including settlement of family disputes and partition of properties. He was known for making very amicable settlements of all disputes brought to him. Young Sadanand was brought up in that environment. It was a culture of caring and sharing by considering all the villages as a part of the family. He was educated at the Kowdoor Elementary School and the Karkala Board High School. Subsequently, he was an alumnus of St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, the Presidency College, Madras, and the Government Law College, Madras. Justice K S Hegde once wrote about his younger days.
I joined the 3rd standard of Board High School, Karkala in 1918. At the time, it had only 5 classes, 3rd and 4th standard and 1st form to 3rd form. The school had only the L-shaped front building. We had neither library nor laboratory. Apart from Annapaya, the headmaster, other teachers in the school were Vasudev Rao, Raghavendra Rao, Ramakrishna Kini and Shamraya Naik. There was no division in any class and no class had more than 40 students. The most dynamic teacher was Raghavendra Rao. He was always prepared, fluent, impressive, but very strict. He lived till his ripe old age. I used to meet him quite often till he died. Shamraya Naik, the drawing teacher, was a bachelor. He lived in a room in the upstairs of the Anantsena temple. He was a member of the Theosophical Society of my village, of which my father was the president. They used to have regular meetings every Sunday and reading of Puranas at night in our place. My father requested him to supervise my studies. The very next year I joined the school. The school was upgraded as a high school. Late J. Krishna Rao was the first headmaster of the high school. Many new teachers were appointed, one of them being the drill teacher, late John Pinto. Tall, smart, and every inch a sportsman. He had very cordial relations with students. He introduced cricket and badminton to the school. After the retirement of J. Krishna Rao, late K. Kini was posted as headmaster of the high school. He was a dynamic person. He completely dedicated himself to the task assigned to him. He was punctual in everything he did. He was very particular in maintaining discipline. He was stern, but absolutely impartial. He loved his students very dearly. He wanted to mold each of them for a bright future. I must confess that I owe my entire success in life to him. I was not serious about my studies. One day, Headmaster Kinney found me smoking. He took me to his room and caned me severely. I was bitter against him. An hour later, he again called me to his room and talked to me very affectionately. He advised me to change my behavior and take my study seriously. He thought that I had inherent abilities, but I was wasting them. He took a promise from me that I will never smoke again. I kept the promise ever since. What changed me was not the punishment that he gave me, but the affection he bestowed on me. I wish we have many such teachers. When I was in the 5th form, the present 9th standard, just 2 or 3 months before the final examination, I had a quarrel with my science teacher. My recollection is that, at least on that occasion, I was not at fault. But probably the teacher was against me because of my antecedents. Anyway, I decided not to attend his classes anymore. I walked up to the headmaster and explained to him the entire incident and requested him to permit me to change my optionals to history and Kannada, which was the only alternative available then. Headmaster Kinney glared at me for some time. Thereafter, cooled down and told me that it is open to me to change my optionals. I must know the consequences. He told me that if I fail in any of the subjects in the final examination, I will be detained. I agreed and I accepted that as a challenge. That was the turning point in my life. I began working hard and in the final examination, I stood first in many of the subjects including history and Kannada. Thereafter, I never looked back.
Justice K S Hegde was known for his uprightness and authority and as a learned judge. He was a man of matchless honesty and utmost integrity. He was convinced that a social order giving justice to all the citizens could not be built up by a corrupt society. And no amount of sacrifice could build a welfare state unless there was an efficient and honest administration. It was on 25th April 1973. The then Prime Minister, Srimati Indira Gandhi, superseded 3 senior Supreme Court judges, J.M. Shelat, K S Hegde and A.N. Grover, and appointed A.N. Ray the Chief Justice of India. It was a manifest attempt to undermine the court's independence. On 30th April 1973, Justice K S Hegde tendered his resignation, uncompromising and critical of interference of the executive in the affairs of the judiciary. Thereafter, Hegde once again started taking active part in socio-political movements. In 1977, he was elected to the 6th Lok Sabha from the Bangalore South constituency on the Janata Party ticket. On 21st July 1977, Hegde was elected to the office of the Speaker following the resignation of Dr. Neelam Sanjeev Reddy to contest the election to the office of the President of India. Speaker Hegde believed in the rule of law and fair play. Maintaining the supremacy of Parliament was uppermost in his mind. It was his constant endeavour to give opportunities to all members to participate in the proceedings of the House. He was convinced that the effectiveness of the House could be improved only when members maintained decorum and discipline. Hegde strongly felt the need for a continuous review of procedures and practices so that they were in tune with the emerging needs. Hegde had given many important rulings as Speaker. Speaker Hegde was keen to improve the effectiveness of the members so that they could improve their performance in the Parliament and outside. He provided them better library, reference, research, documentation and information services. Justice K S Hegde firmly believed in international peace and cooperation. As Speaker, he accorded a great deal of importance to interparliamentary cooperation. He led the Indian parliamentary delegations to the 23rd, 24th and 25th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conferences held in Canada in September 1977, Jamaica in September 1978 and in New Zealand in November-December 1979. Hegde also led the Indian parliamentary delegations to the 65th Higher Parliamentary Conference held in Germany in September 1978 and the 66th Interparliamentary Conference held in Venezuela in September 1979. He participated in the meeting of the Subcommittee of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association held in London and the meeting of the Standing Committee of the Conference of Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers at the Bahamas, both in January 1978. Speaker Hegde attended the 5th Conference of the Commonwealth Speakers and Presiding Officers held in Canberra, Australia in August to September 1978 and the meetings of the Executive Committee of the CPA held in Perth, Australia in May 1979 as Regional Representative for Asia. Speaker Justice Hegde also led Indian parliamentary delegations to Romania, Bulgaria and Poland in June 1979 and to the former Soviet Union in June-July 1979. Justice K S Hegde had lived and worked in various places, but his roots were always in Karkala and Nitte. Justice Hegde had the rare quality of being able to find comfort levels with people ranging from President of the US to the ordinary men in a village. At Nitte, he would watch cricket match with youngsters, talk about agriculture, participate in local festivals and listen to devotional songs. He mixed himself so very well with the local people that hardly he had the air of a former Supreme Court judge and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. The school education, which his wife Meenakshi Hegde was deprived of because of lack of school in Nitte village, was always in his mind. He thought that the people of the village, especially the girls, should have the facility of schooling. That was the inspiration to start a school in the tiny village of Nitte. With this, at his active retirement life, Justice Hegde was writing the story of an educating Nitte village. He made a generation to focus on the welfare of Nitte. What Justice Hegde had initiated had flourished to a magnitude sufficiently to justify the power of his vision. Nitte Education Trust is well placed among the top education centers in the country. The school Justice Hegde founded at Nitte village has now grown to become Nitte University and is a tribute to this great man at his birth centenary year. His concern about medical facilities in villages made Nitte Education Trust to think of starting various satellite hospitals in various remote places, offering free dental and medical facilities to the poor and needy. Proper education and healthcare facilities in villages, along with equality in society, always develop peace and harmony in the nation. Justice Hegde lives here with his ever-loving wife Meenakshi. Calm, serene, pleasant surroundings. He inspires generations in their journey towards the unknown.